Greetings, Tecmo Super Bowl fans. Today we're bringing to you a matchup between Ptitteri and Luckytool, Group 6 in the GBLAN April 2017 online Tecmo Super Bowl tournament. This is a group play game, meaning each player plays each other twice, and then everyone is seeded based on rank, score differential, overall seeding within their own group, and then finally head-to-head. This matchup is called by Ptitteri. Not a matchup I think I've seen called in tournament play. Not an impossible matchup, but I think it was one that definitely leans towards the Cardinals for a number of reasons. Their running back is better. Their defense is better, especially in the secondary. You've got Lonnie Young, who's one of the fastest starting running speeds in the game. Both located in the middle of the defense at the safety position. Packers' advantage is going to be the quarterback. Woodside is still very serviceable. You do have a high hitting power option, a Haddix that can be placed at safety in other areas. Looks like Ptitteri's got him at running back right now. And Haddix just popcorns the secondary, has that high hitting power. Obviously, you have Sterling Sharp on the Packers, so you get the mobile quarterback, Sterling Sharp, and decent tight end as well. They have advantage at that position. They also have the advantage at special teams. The kicker for Packers, Chris Jackie, is much better than Dejas. He's one of the worst kickers in the game. So far, Ptitteri moving the ball in chunks. Nothing real crazy here. Tries to go with a timed JJ, looks like, on pass 2. Maybe was trying to go for a burn route, and it just didn't come out very well. Overthrows. Now we got 4th down and 2. And this is an area of the field where, you'd like to maybe try to kick a field goal. Now he has the same result there. Open receivers on pass 2, but elects to just take the first down, running the ball with Mikowski. Called run 4, and Luckytool gets bottled up in the middle there, but is able to break away, and it only ends up being a 5-yard gain. So normally when you see a defender get engaged in the middle like that, you'd like to get a little bit more out of that play. And we see a real late pass attempt to Kemp, and realistically, the fact that that's not intercepted is a blessing. That's a throw that should never happen. If you're going to let that throw go, it's got to come in early, and it's got to go to Sharp. Sharp's your guy. He's quote-unquote always open. Luckytool perfectly positions McDonald, who has the better interception rating, versus Lonnie Young in that passing situation. Gets in between the passing lane of the defender. And it looks like Mikowski is going for it, and he had a receiver that he could have tried to throw to up top. Really was indecisive and decided to go for the run there. And 7 yards is a lot to get with a quarterback on a down where you know that's coming. So, especially with Lonnie Young. Lonnie Young is a incredibly fast safety and can completely outflank your blocking alignment. So we have Bob Nelson as the chosen defender, and tries to engage Johnny Johnson, ends up hitting a blocker and gets popcorn. And Johnny Johnson, with that 50 running speed, I believe it's either 50 or 56. You can let me know in the comments which one it is, but against this team and its speed, no problem zigzagging into the end zone. So one play and we have a touchdown. Not to mention the hit stats that Johnny Johnson has. So one advantage showing through right away. Really two advantages: the superior secondary play and the superior running back. Ptitteri checking conditions here. Looks like he's got speed on the field, but not a whole lot in the way of blocking. His hitting power is not on the field. He doesn't have Ed West, doesn't have Jackie Harris, doesn't have Michael Haddix strategically placed for blocking purposes. So he's going to be leaning on his passing game. Typically speaking, Ed West makes a great wide receiver too in a game like this, especially if you want to run the ball. And then also having Haddix in at tight end position. You can put someone like Darrell Thompson or Herman Fontenot at the other running back position, depending if you want the hitting power or do you want reception capability. Heck, you could even put Woodside in at receiver. He has 50 receptions. And Mikowski just Ptitteri unable to make a decision there, can't get the ball away. Really going for it on fourth is perplexing in that situation. You've only seen one offensive play. You're on your own end. You've got fourth and long. And the game is still close. So it may not feel close playing against a guy like Tooley, but you have to kick the ball in that situation and come back and fight another day. Extend the game. If you get down early, you're going to cut your playbook in half. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse anymore, but don't go for a fourth down that early, at least not at that down and distance. Touchdown to Visekahema, Tim Rosenbach. Prior play, he ran out of bounds. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if we've established yet the tap numbers for Tooley and Ptitteri and who had that advantage, but there was an isolation situation. There we see the inadequacies of the kicker already doinking it that close with the extra point. So kicking field goals is no treat as the Cardinals. So we have ourselves an 0-14 deficit here. Mikowski tries to throw over the line of scrimmage, and pass is blocked. So to complete that pass, you're better off being a little closer to the line of scrimmage, getting in front of the line if you can of the offensive and defensive line, and then throwing across. Here he throws it up to Sharp, who catches this ball. And that's one of the advantages of this team, and it does look like he has a slight taps advantage. So Sterling Sharp with getting the Packers back in this one. And all it takes is one play like that, and again, that's another reason why, not going for a fourth down that early in the game is just not a wise decision. So let's see if he can leverage Sterling Sharp throughout the game here. Visekahema is typically your kick returner in this situation. He has a 44 running speed start. And one of the few stats that actually carry over on a kickoff. The rest of the stats are minus the hit power gained from the right tackle. Great run there from Johnny Johnson. And you can just see the Packers drones are just not able to keep up with him. And we have 2 seconds left in this quarter. Rosenbach will be thrown to the end zone here. Ernie Jones hoping for that JJ in the end zone, and it's intercepted, but it was a situation where he could have come away with that ball, and that's an acceptable turnover in that situation. You're just throwing up a prayer and see what happens. Got an early panty shot in the halftime show. I don't know if that's an omen of some kind. Don't see that as often. Luckytool will be getting the ball back, but we have an attempted onside kick. Not a terrible decision there, just based on that lost possession, but now you have a shorter field for Luckytool. Whenever you're on defense, ideally what you want to do is force someone to nickel and dime you to death, because the more times that they have to touch the ball on offense to score, the more chances that they have of turning it over, whether it be a fumble or interception or on downs. So you always want to take away what's underneath. Maybe take calculated risks from time to time, but be decisive. Good completion there for the first down for Thule. Johnny Johnson just demonstrating his ability to outmaneuver drones, and he wants to avoid the contact because it looks like he does not have the tap advantage, at least at this point. Taps are about the same then. First down with the run there. Pass one is called. She does a good job getting away with Rosenbach, but just can't let that ball go in time. Bob Nelson engages a blocker. I don't know if that was entirely necessary, but is able to break away in time to minimize that to a 3-yard gain. And there looks like we get some drone help there. I don't know who exactly made that diving tackle, but just forced the field goal attempt, which is, I'm sorry, I said it's Del Greco. My apologies on the name for the kicker before. Looks like Domikowski isn't bad. So we have a 2-score deficit. However, he has the ball. It's still the third quarter. In bad condition, Mikowski isn't completely ineffective, but that 25 maximum speed is one of his advantages, are certainly something that is not ideal. I don't know if we saw what Ed West's condition was, but he's an asset to have on the field, and he's not right now. That 31 maximum speed, what difference that you get between him really versus like a Jeff Query is, instead of it's 31 starting instead of for your running speed instead of 25. And once the route gets going, it really doesn't matter. Plus, you have the hitting power of an Ed West. So, in fact, the receptions are also good for West. So, next time you definitely want to try to leverage him. Called play here, and it's forcing second down. It'd be interesting to see if we have Haddix getting the ball here. Nope, it's going back to Woodside. And we have a run 4, just enough for that first down. And Mikowski throws to a covered receiver. I'm not sure if that was just a mistap or he was just rushed from the drones coming in there. So costly turnover here. Really needed to get at least 3 points there to keep it within 1 touchdown. So I think one of the mistakes that a lot of newer players make is feeling like they have to let go of the ball when there's a called play. And oftentimes that's the right decision, knowing where the routes are, and almost a nice play there to wide receiver 2, Ernie Jones, off of pass 1. Unfortunately, the pass is overthrown. But sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And actually a great position there, getting Bob Nelson where he needs to be to block that ball. Very nice play there by Ptitteri. Because you always have third down. You can always chuck the ball a mile if they don't pick your play and see what happens, and that can change the scope of the game. So I think, yes, it does take the runs off the table depending on the tap advantage, playbook, who you're playing against. But the running game, unless you get an isolation tap situation for the Packers, is not going to win you the game. It'll get you yards here and there. You're going to win by chucking it to Sterling Sharp. And at this point in the game, if he does get the ball back, that should be the strategy pretty much every play, is getting it to Sharp any way he can. The expression of the community is Sharp is always open. And not quite sure what happened there. It looked like he was about to engage Johnny Johnson short of the line of gain. And Johnny Johnson and his hidden stats go to work. Gets the first down after the juke. Hidden stats didn't do anything for Johnny Johnson on that play. Got a called run 3, so he's going to need the ball back in a hurry if he wants any chance at this game. Pass 4 called, so this is encouraging. Throws it up to Reeves, incomplete. So now we have a field goal opportunity here. Kick is rushed by Harris. And arrow's just a little high there and ends up doinking out. So there's some life here remaining. We have the onside kick possibility. But we got to get this either in the end zone or through the uprights. And if you can get a completion here and kick a field goal and try the onside or play defense, that also is another strategy that might be worth exploring. Obviously, if there's a deep ball opportunity, you can go for that as well. But you got to get points on the board, and there's only so many. There's only so much time. And the problem with his positioning right now is Sharp may want to move Sharp to the wide receiver too, because there's only a couple plays where he actually gets down the field, and that's where the money's made. So right now you have Sharp sitting at top. He's not going to do anything for you sitting there. You got to get the ball down the field. Now, here's at least a decent receiver in Woodside, and he's going to let him sit there and chew the clock off. That was a great decision there by Thule. He knows that in that situation, immediate dive grapple, you cannot do anything there. The player has to finish you off or another drone. And so you melted off probably another 20 seconds off the clock for that. And time is ticking. You can't take too long to think about your play here. Nice maneuvering, but not enough here. The time is ticking. Went into the change screen, not sure why. And again, just a mental error. You needed 3 points there to tie the game, and a touchdown. I keep seeing this error with Tecmo players. You need 2 scores. You need 2 scores. You've been denied. And even with the safety here, you still need 2 scores. So this is, he's going to get the ball back, but too much time has been wasted. Situational football, you have to know when to kick the field goal. If you go 3 times at the door and it's not there, kick the field goal, try to get the ball back. With the use of timeouts, if the field goal was kicked earlier, there was an opportunity there to maybe play some defense and get a punt. Maybe even a turnover. But that throwing to Wilson there is, it's just going to eat him some more time off the clock here. Maybe get one pass past the 50 and kick a field goal here, and then hope for an onside kick. But I don't think the thought there is in anyone's mind here. I think the thought is, I have to score a touchdown, Yeah, we also need another score, so this is where the field goal should be kicked. He's kept in bounds. He did not get him out of bounds. He had to get out of bounds there. And now the field goal should already be happening. And it's not. And Jackie can kick it from there. And we're out of time here. He'll burn about 5 seconds here. And there's not enough time, even if you get the onside kick, there's a whistle. So now he's hoping maybe for a fumble at the end of the game here. And Sikahema will just go out of bounds. And that's the game. We have a 12-17 game in favor of LuckyTool. So, surprisingly, as much as LuckyTool seemed to dominate that game, Ptitteri was in it. And I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but the clock management it was the main issue here. There was an opportunity. You always have an opportunity in the game to throw it up to Sterling Sharp and see what happens. With that playbook, Sterling Sharp was not able to get down the field when he needed to. So in that situation in the game, I would have put Sharp at wide receiver 2 and tried to stretch the field that way. Put Ed West or someone else up top, or with the running plays or where they're going, or even Kemp or Query would have been fine up there. Thule took what the defense gave him, which was a lot of rushing yards, averaging just over 10 yards a carry. And Rosenbach not particularly effective, but getting the job done. 17-12, Cardinals over the Packers. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. If you want to see more Tecmo Online Super Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl Online tournament coverage, give us a subscribe, and we'll keep shooting these videos your way. So we'll talk soon, and thanks for watching GBLAN Tecmo.